Hello everybody, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to do the 7-day forecast today, having a detailed look at weather for the next 7 days across the British Isles. Now, in the last few days I've been talking quite extensively on the website about the change to colder weather, easterly winds setting in and the risk of snow. Now, we will get some colder weather developing through the first part of the week, but it really does look now as though there's going to be a very quick breakdown to this cold weather from around Thursday onwards, bringing the Atlantic back in and turning it a good deal milder and wet and windy as well. So we can say that the models have done a bit of a flip over this over the last day or so. And this is just really something that happens with the winter forecast, winter modelling in this country. It's hard to get blocks going across the northern latitudes and sustain them in winter time. Of course, the normal flow is off the Atlantic due to the jet stream and other things like the Gulf Stream as well, the warm ocean current. Our prevailing wind direction is always westerly or southwesterly. So any time we break out of that and go into northerly or easterly, it's really an exception to the normal pattern, and very often, whilst the models do toy with these developments, when they get closer, things can and do go wrong, and that appears to be what's happened on this occasion. I wouldn't entirely rule out that it's not going to stay cold at the end of the week. It still is just about too far away to have really a 100% certainty about it, but all of the models, or nearly all of the models really today, with one quite big exception, are going for a quick breakdown to this cold weather at the end of the week. Now, the breakdown itself could actually be in the form of some snow across the northern parts of the country in particular. Anyway, we'll get on with all the detail in a moment. Before I get on with the video, I want to mention the advertising. There'll usually be a video ad overlaying my web videos at gazwebvids.com. Please play those video ads. You'll be supporting gazwebvids.com if you do that. And Gaz Shop, you can get your Christmas shopping at Gaz Shop by clicking through the amazon.co.uk banners, going through to amazon.co.uk, buy your Christmas shopping there, and at the same time be supporting Gaz Weather Vids also. And thanks very much for doing that. So this is the chart for today from the GFS model. We've got high pressure here across southern and western parts of the country, starting to ridge out into the Atlantic. We've got low pressure here to the north of Scotland. This has always been the trigger low, really, to the cold developments next week. It's still there, it's still the trigger low. This isn't really the problem. The problem is further down the line. But for today, we're bringing this weather system close to northern Scotland, so we'll thicken the cloud across Scotland today. We'll have outbreaks of rain, maybe some hail, sleet or snow as well. For other parts of the country, it's going to be a dry and mainly fine afternoon, turning increasingly cloudy though through northern England, and that cloud spreading down in towards Wales and the Midlands as well through the course of this afternoon. It's been a nice sunny morning across much of central southern England. It'll stay quite sunny in the south for most of the day. Temperatures are cold in the south though, just 3, 4, 5 degrees. In the north, a bit milder, temperatures up to around 7 or 8, and that milder weather will head southwards as we go through tonight. This low pressure begins to move down into the North Sea. We'll take a lot of cloud down across the country, many parts turning cloudy overnight. Could be some mist and low cloud, maybe a little bit of hill fog in places as well. Also turning quite damp really from the north. Could be light rain or drizzle, patchy rain almost anywhere. But later on in the night, this strengthening north to northwesterly wind will start to feed colder weather and clearer skies in towards central and northern parts of Scotland, with the risk of some snow showers. So it's going to be a milder night tonight with all the cloud around. I don't think we have to worry too much about frost. Maybe frost up in the north, could get below freezing there as the skies clear. But really, temperatures should hold up at around 3, 4, 5 degrees tonight with all of that cloud around. Now tomorrow, this trigger low is moving southwards through the North Sea towards Denmark and northern Germany. We'll be taking a lot of snowfall there. We've already had a lot of snow across central parts of Europe in the last few days. There'll be more really heavy snow to come in Central Europe over the next few days. So we're lucky we're not really under the cosh with the snow. Actually, it's not far away, it's just over the other side of the North Sea. But for us, we're bringing down this northerly wind on Sunday. We're taking a very weak cold front down across the country as well, building this high pressure behind. So I take a band of cloud across the country through Sunday, mainly light patchy rain. It could pep up a little bit down across southwest England and Wales later on the day. Could be some proper wet weather down there, but generally it's a very weak front, but it's the boundary to much colder air. So as the skies clear behind that, the Scotland, Northern Ireland and eventually Northern England, it will turn much colder, with snow showers pushing into northern and eastern parts of Scotland. So temperatures tomorrow will be quite mild really in the south, up to around 8, maybe 9 or even 10 degrees in the far southwest. 10 degrees is 50 Fahrenheit, but up in the north it'll be turning much colder behind that cold front. Temperatures dipping away to just 2 or 3 degrees at best. And then as we go into Monday, we're all in that cold air then. The trigger low is sitting over Germany, producing copious amounts of snow for them. For us, we've got this area of high pressure. Remember, this high pressure wanted to ridge up to Scandinavia and produce a real blocking area of high pressure and pull the winds into the east, properly into the east, and bring this low out of Germany in across the country, which would have brought a lot of snow. But these little shortwave low pressure systems just to the north of the country around the Norwegian coast, just stopping that link up with the high pressure in the Atlantic and the one over Russia, stopping the link up and the block forming over Scandinavia. So instead we're left really under high pressure for Monday. It'll be cold, there'll be hard frost to begin with. There could be some snow showers being brought into these eastern coasts on this gentle easterly wind, not a strong wind, but enough to produce some snow showers down the east coast. But really most parts dry and fine on Monday with good sunny spells, but very cold. Temperatures just 2-3 degrees at best. Some places probably struggling to get much above freezing. As I said, there's a hard frost early and late. On Tuesday, that high pressure is still there, sitting over the country. It still is wanting to ridge to the north, but it's not able to because of these little features off the Norwegian coast. So really again, we're perhaps looking at a few snow showers around these eastern coasts, possibly bringing in something more substantial to the southeast late on Tuesday evening into Wednesday. I'll have to look at this in a bit more detail. There's a chance we might bring some more general snow showers into the far southeast, but very speculative that. Really, it's a dry day for Tuesday with good sunny spells. Again, very cold, frost early and late, hard frost, temperatures as low as -6, -7, -8 in some places. -8 is 18 Fahrenheit to begin with on Tuesday morning, again on Tuesday night, but by day good sunny spells. Temperatures really struggling up to around 2 or 3 degrees at best. And then things start to break down as we go into Wednesday. By the look of it, this high pressure is splitting. It hasn't been able to ridge up to Scandinavia, so instead it's starting to slide away in towards France, and low pressure is beginning to develop in the Atlantic. You'll notice very little difference in terms of weather for Wednesday. It'll still be a very cold day, good sunny spells, mainly dry. Again, some snow showers coming down the east coast, possibly bringing some longer spells of snow towards those North Sea coasts. Again, this is something I'm going to have to firm up on over the next few days. Possibly some snow showers around the southeast as well, but really away from the east. It's a mainly dry day for Wednesday with good sunny spells, and it is cold though again, with temperatures really struggling to get above freezing and hard frost early and late. Now there is one exception to this idea, which is this morning's UK Met Office chart. That shows a much stronger ridge of high pressure up to the north of the country, blocking the Atlantic. And as we run out to Thursday, there's actually quite big changes with this. But for the GFS, and this is the one we're going with today, we bring this low pressure through on Thursday from the Atlantic. Start to bring Atlantic air in off the coast, so it will be turning much milder through Thursday across England and Wales, with heavy rain pushing in. If this is right, the rain could well turn to snow from the Midlands northwards up towards northern England, central southern Scotland. Could be some really substantial snow with this low pressure pushing in, but eventually the mild air is moving in as well, so eventually we're going to see those temperatures lifting up to around 6 or 7 degrees in the south, despite the fact there'll be quite a bit of heavy rain. But for northern England northwards, those temperatures really struggling to get above freezing. It is for northern England and Scotland that those temperatures will be struggling, and we do have a risk of some heavy snow if this is right. But the UK Met Office again will look at this for Friday. This is showing the low pressure being blocked in the Atlantic, trying to slide in towards France, we're bringing up this very cold southeasterly wind. So this is a much colder run for the end of the week. And as long as this is still in Churn, there's just a chance, I wouldn't rate it any more than about a 20% chance, but there's just a chance that it could stay very cold and wintry into the latter stages of next week. But the consensus is really where the GFS is this morning, which is for low pressure to push in very quickly next week, at the end of next week rather, turning it much milder. So by Friday, going back to the GFS, we're in this west to southwesterly wind. It's milder for all parts of the country, taking heavy rain away to the north and the east and bringing in sunshine and showers, and those showers are quite heavy. Ice bars are tightly packed, so it is windy. Temperatures are up to around 7 or 8 degrees. And then going through to next weekend, we maintain that westerly flow if this is correct, and there's no reason really to doubt that it won't be, because it's well supported amongst other models except the UK Met Office model. But ready for Saturday again, it's sunshine and showers, maybe starting to bring in another weather system from the Atlantic by the end of the day, producing longer spells of rain, and temperatures have lifted up to around 7 or 8 degrees as well. Just have a look at the charts on the weatheroutlook.com. We can see it for today. We've got good sunny spells across England, Wales. We'll take cloudier from the north through the day. Some light and patchy rain coming across Scotland. Could be some hill snow with that. We take that cloud and very limited patchy rain across England, Wales for Sunday, turning sunnier but much colder to the north, and some snow showers possible around northern east coast. Everywhere's cold for Monday, very cold with hard frost early and late, but it will be sunny as we go through to Tuesday. Again, it's very cold, frost early and late, good sunny spells and mainly dry, but some wintry showers, snow showers coming down the eastern coast. And again, it's a similar situation for Wednesday, hard frost early and late, but good sunny spells, some snow showers down the east coast. Always the risk that we might bring in a longer spell of snow towards the eastern coast around the middle of the week, but I'm going to have to look at it in more detail. It's too early to say on that one. And then Thursday we push the Atlantic in, taking wet and windy weather across much of England, Wales. That turns to snow for Scotland and Northern Ireland. Remember, the UK Met Office doesn't agree with this, so it's one model on its own this morning, but I'd rate the chance that the cold weather hangs on into the end of the week at around 20%, no more than that. But ready for Friday, a case of showers or longer spells of rain. Temperatures are lifting up, and that sort of milder Atlantic settled pattern stays with us into next weekend. So if you're looking for snow and significant cold, it's a disappointing forecast, I'm afraid, this morning. It is going to get colder. Monday to Wednesday will be cold. Could be some snow showers around the eastern coast, but hard frost and mainly fine weather with good sunny spells elsewhere. Then from Thursday onwards, it looks this morning as though we push the Atlantic through very quickly. Snow possible, significant snow possible for northern England and Scotland, wet further south, and that milder Atlantic air drives in across the country by the time we get through to Friday and the weekend. Now, I will keep an eye on this. I'll be keeping a check to see whether the models start to shift back towards the UK Met Office solution. I'm not expecting it, but I wouldn't entirely rule it out. As I say, the UK Met Office is that one sort of glimmer of hope if you're looking for cold and substantial snow. But generally, I'm expecting a mild push from around Thursday onwards. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.